What's up, guys? It's your girl Brainy Boss here, coming at you with another video. This video is a little more serious than all my other types of videos that I normally do. Me and my family actually had caught COVID-19, and we're in week 13, not week 13, excuse me, week 3. We're past our 14-day mark. In fact, I'm actually sitting inside my car at one of the medical facilities right now. My husband's actually getting seen. I actually can't go in right now, and it's raining, of course. So basically what I'm doing is I'm actually going to share what my symptoms were between me and my husband. Actually, it was me and my husband, one of my older sons, my youngest son, which is 5, my daughter, which she is turning 11 actually Friday, and myself. My two teenage daughters, they actually did not catch COVID, and they wore a mask the whole time during the whole process of the rest of us having COVID. This is really serious, guys. Honest to God, with how many symptoms that I had myself personally, I just was baffled because I went through a process of just being weak. I mean, I can't even explain it. I mean, you would have to be a person that literally is going through this and experiencing it in order to understand what and how serious it is and how people should wear a mask and stuff. You know, you getting vaccinated, that is a personal choice. I won't speak on that because, again, that is a personal choice. Don't get me wrong. You know, there's a lot of things that's happening, and it's a lot of politics behind a lot of things. And I don't get involved in those types of conversations because they turn ugly really quick. So I'm going to be reading off my other phone on all the different things that I did experience while having COVID-19 myself, and my husband as well, because he's a male also and he experienced it. If you hear that sound, it's my windshield wipers going because it is raining outside too. In fact, this video is about my own experience and my family's catching COVID, and I just want to make a disclaimer that I am not a doctor. I'm not in a medical profession. The purpose of this video is to share my experience and what I used and what we used to get through having COVID-19. And you know, me sharing my experience might help somebody else, you know, through this process, because it was a very trying and difficult time. And I don't want anyone to you know, take this out of context and make it seem like I am trying to diagnose, or you try to self-diagnose yourself or whatever. So, first of all, how did I get COVID? Well, I ended up catching COVID because one of my older sons, he actually was working 2 jobs, and he was working at Walmart as well as the second job. I believe he did come home. I'm still kind of iffy on how he brought it in, but it was brought into our home, and I don't really want to point fingers because, you know, he felt really bad about it, you know, when we actually did have a conversation. So I'm just going to stick to the fact that it was brought into the home. These COVID symptoms really does start to mimic allergies, because me and my husband both have allergies and stuff, and it's really hot in Florida. So let's start there. It is excruciatingly hot, and if you walk outside, I mean, you could immediately catch pollen. I mean, like, hands down, like, it's like that. So I thought that I was having allergy issues because the first thing I got was a little itchy throat. So with that being said, I'm like, okay, I'll take some Claritin or something to help that, because that's what I normally go to if I have any issues. And then we'll see what happens. Well, that lasted about 2 seconds, because later on that night, I start developing a headache. I started developing the sweats, and I had a mild fever. So when I say mild, I'm talking about like I'm at 100 to 101, and I'm sweating like profusely while I'm trying to sleep. My house is normally cold. I'm gonna say about 73, 72 in at nighttime, and I normally have my ceiling fan going and everything. So just think about this, and I sleep in normally shorts, pajamas, so in tank tops. So I'm sweating like there's nobody's business. So I get that situation happening, and then after that I ended up with so at this time, the next day, my husband starts coughing. So he's coughing, and he's thinking, okay, I'm coughing, maybe it's my allergies acting up. So at this point, when I start to feel bad, I say to him, I'm not feeling well. I've had a headache and this, and that. So he's like, well, you feel like we need to get tested. So what we do is we order the antigen COVID test. Now, these tests can get pricey when you're having to test multiple people, and when you're having to test multiple times. So the price for the antigen test, first of all, the brand was the Benex Now antigen test for COVID. So one test is $23 by itself, and then you get 2 for $40. That's what they cost, and we had to order multiple tests. So we were having them delivered to our home, and so what I did was I tested myself first. Mine's tested positive. So then once I tested positive, I immediately put on a mask. So then while that's happening, they checked my son. We checked my son, my 5-year-old. My 5-year-old, his comes back negative because he's 5. He doesn't want nothing stuck up his nose. So then we checked my 11-year-old. And hers comes back positive. But mind you, at this point, she's only having a stuffy nose. She doesn't have any other symptoms but just a stuffy nose. Okay, guys. So then, with my 11-year-old having a stuffy nose, so then my 5-year-old, what happens to him is he starts with like a small cold. And then as the day progresses, he's constantly sneezing. He's having his nose is draining and stuff, and he's still very active. He's active. He's not like, I need to lay down, mommy, or like just like a sick child. Okay, so the night comes. My son gets off work. We test my son. He tests positive. He immediately puts a mask on, and he immediately goes to his room and he quarantines. I immediately begin to quarantine inside of my bedroom because we have 2 bathrooms in our bedroom. So there's my bathroom and my husband's bathroom. So we immediately start to quarantine. With the little ones, I quarantine in the room because at this point we don't know my husband is positive. So my husband separates himself and he goes to our front living room, and he's in there. And then I'm in the bedroom, the master bedroom, with the two little ones. And my girls, they're using our family room, and they're using their bedrooms to stay awake. So at that night, my 5-year-old, he starts to run a fever. He runs a fever. He gets he gets the chills and everything. So by this time he's experiencing this, it goes into 2-3 o'clock in the morning. I have to wake my husband. I have to send him out to the nearest store, because at this point I need Tylenol suspension or some type of suspension to help break the fever. So my little one sleeps all the way to the next day. Well, and I'm giving him popsicles and things on and off and stuff, and Gatorade and stuff. So he starts to feel better within a matter of less than 24 hours. And he's very active. He's talking. You wouldn't even never thought he had a fever, because he was even talking then when he had the fever. He was talking and he just said, I'm really cold. I'm really cold. So right then and there, we kind of knew something was happening with him. So my 11-year-old, she still is just having a stuffy nose. And that's the only thing she's complaining of, that her nose is stuffy. No fever, no anything, any body aches, nothing. Meanwhile, the 2 little ones has gotten better. But mommy and daddy hit a brick wall. My symptoms got so crazy. At first, I was fine. And then all of a sudden, I start to experience everything under the sun. First symptom was a scratchy throat. I lost my smell. I lost my taste. I lost my appetite. I had an aggressive cough. I was coughing up mucus. I had a mild fever. I had body aches. And when I say body aches, I mean it's like almost somebody rubbing your bones together. Like the most achiest feeling somebody could experience. I had the chills. Like, I went through the chills for a very long time. I'm like, it feels like the flu, but then it gets worse because I start having the sweats. And these sweats were like sauna sweats. Like, I had gotten to the point where I was sweating so bad, I was literally stuck to my bed. My body had sweated so much, and I lost 15 pounds, in fact. My husband lost about 20 to 25 just because we had no appetite. I had weight loss. I had nausea. I had that for days. I mean, from sunup to sundown. I literally was sick on the stomach, like vomit feeling for the longest. I had the COVID tongue. I had heard that and read about having COVID tongue until I got to my symptoms. That's when I experienced having a COVID tongue. And a COVID tongue was something like, your tongue is naturally a pinkish tone and stuff. It turns like a pale white. And it almost looks like you have thrash on your tongue. I was extremely weak. I mean, I went from showering in my husband's bathroom, because showering in his bathroom with hot water made me feel so much better. But then I had gotten to the point where I had gotten so weak, I couldn't even stand up in his shower anymore. I literally had to retreat back to my own bathroom to start taking sit-down baths. And what was happening was, I would literally have to take a bath and then get out of my bath, and I would have to sit on the side of my tub, and then I would have to mosey from that part of my tub onto, I have a footstool inside of my bathroom where I sit things on, or I might sit on and stuff when I'm getting dressed. So I had to move on to that to dry off, to try to get dressed, because I was totally out of breath, because you have a lot of coughing and a lot of shortness of breath when dealing with COVID. At this point, I started having, my urine started smelling like medicine. When I would go to the bathroom, I was drinking lots of water and lots of Gatorade, those and orange juice. But at this point, because I was in the midst of having COVID, my urine started to have this weird smell, like a medicine smell. And not only did I experience it, but my husband and my son experienced that too. I was drinking, but my brain it was like my brain was signaling that I didn't need to go to the bathroom. I was drinking so much fluids, but I was not going to the bathroom like I was supposed to. So what I would do is go sit on the toilet and just wait to pee. And I would have to do that because my body, for some weird reason, I know that COVID supposedly attacks other parts of the body. So I was under the assumption maybe it was attacking my kidneys or something and causing me not to be able to go filter what need to go out. So I would go sit on the toilet, and that would I would have to go pee then. I was having rib pains from coughing. Rib and abdomen pains were brutal. I almost felt like I was on a period for months and months. And the coughing, the rib cage, it hurt extremely bad from coughing so much. I had bloody mucus from coughing. So this was a mixture between having phlegm and blood mixed in at the same time, and that was very harsh, and it freaked me out to see that because it didn't just happen once, it was constantly happening. I had lots of fatigue. I had chafing lips. My lips were horrible. They looked like somebody hit me in the mouth with powder. Now, those are all my symptoms that I experienced, and a lot of them my husband did experience as well. What I started to do was, for recovery, I started using water, flavored water, lots of Gatorade, G2 Gatorade and stuff, and regular Gatorade. I utilize the services of having, the people deliver things from like BJ's and stuff like that, because we couldn't go out and go anywhere. And that was just the hardest part, was because if you needed something, I was like on Amazon like an addict. Like, I ordered everything. Like, now I'm ready for flu season. Hope to God nobody catches that and no one catches COVID again, but it was a lot. But what you can use too is water, orange juice, Gatorade, Pedialyte. We use lemon tea with ginger, using green teas and stuff like that, with honey. What I did was I did contact one of my cousins, my older cousins. She's really religious, and she's a good source, and I want to thank her because, I text her and just asked her if she can pray for me and my family. What happens is when a lot of family members catch COVID, a lot of people don't share that they have COVID. It's like almost like people make things like a secret, but honest to God, everybody needs to be mindful that you can be here today and gone tomorrow. That's how this process has been for me. I did, my mom and my dad and some of my family knew that me and my family had COVID. My older children, they knew. They called, they text, they FaceTime every day and stuff, and I'm grateful that they all did that. And I'm grateful to my cousin for her prayers from her family and her church as well, and things like that, because you really need stuff like that in your life, and you need positive around you. And she was a good resource because she sent me a lot of information about stuff that I could use and do, and what I should try to purchase, which I did. When she told me, I just went right on Amazon and I ordered those things. One of the things was, with us not having appetites, my cousin told me about bone broth soup by Swanson, the to-go cups, chicken and lemon herb. They make different kinds, but I ordered cases of that. because I had to get us eating something, even if it was drinking. We would warm it up, and I would give it to my husband with a straw, and he was taking it because he needed something. He needed something, you know. We needed something because, honey, it was rough. And I ordered cases of Gatorade. I ordered tea. I ordered everything you can think of, all the different medicines. I mean, when I got nauseous and it went on from like all day, what I did was I ordered that, and I ordered Pepto, I ordered Dramamine, anything that was gonna help us in some type of way. I was ordering it. Do you hear what I say? And I don't have any regrets about ordering any of the things that I ordered. My cousins suggested the bone broth soup with collagen. Try to order fresh fruits and vegetables. Try to eat that. If you can take food, try those things, fresh fruits and vegetables. Sleeping on your stomach can help with draining your lungs and stuff, or your side. Do not sleep sitting, laying on your back. They said that is not good. Sitting in an upright position in your bed, making sure you're getting up to walk around your home, or if you have like a patio or something, getting up and taking the time to try to walk around and stuff like that, for 20 minutes a day, to kind of keep the blood going and stuff, and make sure you don't have any like blood clots or anything like that happening. Taking breaks in between, you know, honest to God, because you get shortness of breath with COVID. I was noticing that when I would get out my tub, I would be like out of breath, and I would have to be like trying to take deep breaths, but you can't. It's like you've ran a marathon. I'm not lying to you. So you have to take breaks and be easy on yourself if, you know, yours get this bad as mine and my family's. What I was doing was I was having my girls, I would take the stuff to the washing machine, and I would wash everything on my bed, and then I was washing the kids' stuff over and over. And I was Lysoling down everything, the beds, the pillows, the everything that's being touched, the doorknobs, the tub, even though the tub's getting cleaned out with bleach, I was Lysoling down everything, the toilet handles, the toilet seat, everything has to be used with Lysol every time you use it. Sitting outside for 20 minutes, I said that. Whatever you can take, watching something that can make you feel happy. This is one of the things, being entertained, because you're gonna have a lot of time on your hands, and you're gonna be feeling sick, and you're not gonna want to get out of the bed. So what I was doing, I was watching stuff like sitcoms that we grew up on, like A Different World, Sex in the City. I was watching just different stuff, Grey's Anatomy, The Sopranos, watching things that are entertaining, that'll make you laugh, kind of get you, you know, out of the funk of knowing that you're sick and you're fighting this virus, but to put you in a good mood and to put you in a good headspace. I'm going to tell you to pray. If you're a religious person or you believe in God, I'm going to recommend that you pray. Because you know what? At the end of the day, you have to give it to God, and you have to ask God for strength, ask God for recovery, and ask God to help heal you. And that's one thing that I did the whole time. Me and my husband both, we were praying over each other and our children to get better. You want to read different things. I had magazines coming in the mail, and I would just flip through them and read articles and stuff. I was reading a lot of health stuff pertaining to this virus on my iPad and on my phone. A lot of things you just kind of go along and you see, okay, that's what I'm experiencing. what can I take, what can I use to help myself. We were taking supplements. My cousin did recommend the Symbacus elderberry with zinc. I actually was taking that before when the pandemic first started, but then I had fell off because I had got so busy. I didn't reorder it, and she jogged my memory about ordering that. I had already had zinc, vitamin D and vitamin C. We have already and we're taking. We were using Tylenol severe cold, and that's what we started with. We were using Robitussin. We were using Excedrin for the headaches. I was using a heating pad for the chills because those chills got really bad. I was using Burt's Bees for my lips for the chappedness. My husband was too. I was using my Apple Watch to monitor my heart rate and blood oxygen rate. Biggest thing, please stay hydrated. Hydration is everything in this process. And not getting stuck in your bed. Don't give up. It's a rough road, but you know what? You have to fight. If you want your life, you have to fight for it. When I would brush my teeth in the morning, what I was doing was spraying my toothbrush with peroxide as well as my sink. I was using Listerine and stuff to help cough mucus up. It would kind of clear my throat up, and then I wouldn't have that nasty taste in the back of my throat from having COVID and that mucus. Nebulizer machine. My son has asthma. Me and my husband both have inhalers, but when I would go to use my inhaler and my spacer, I would cough, so I was not able to take in the medicine from my inhaler. So I was using my son's nebulizer machine, and that helped tremendously because it helped open up my lungs and his too, and also my son's. I was using Vicks Vapor Rub on my husband because it was helping him sleep at night and get a good night's sleep. I did use a Vicks humidifier machine, the one with the pads. With that allows you to you basically put the pads in. We know what a humidifier does, and you just shut the room door, and that helped him with getting a good night's sleep. But I'm gonna say this because that's pretty much what we experienced. We did test negative, and we're doing follow-up appointments now after this virus. And only thing I can say is pray for the best. And just, if you know something, share with your family, because this stuff could help your family members. It could help somebody else by sharing your experience. Maybe not everything, but enough to, it might save a life. You never know. But I'm going to end this video on a good note. Make sure you wear your mask, and I will catch you guys on the next one. What is up, YouTube? It's your girl, Bunny Boss, coming out with another video. Actually checking in. So I had recorded a video basically saying what happened to me and my family as far as catching the virus. And I had left off with my husband taking him to the doctors. Well, he ended up having to be admitted and basically rushed over to the main hospital because he had actually pneumonia and blood clots in his lungs. So he was admitted, and then he was in the hospital for a few days. And then he was on blood thinners. So we were at the doctor's office waiting for him to be transported over to the hospital. And he was on blood thinners. They put him on blood thinners through his IV immediately. So he was on blood thinners, and they said he basically had COVID lungs. He is right now recovering. still and has to be on blood thinners for like 3 months. And so he's just taking it easy. But make a long story short, COVID is no joke. If, you know, my video helps somebody, help save lives, share it with other people, because my experience might help somebody else. I'm not saying everything that I did or my family did will be everyone's experience, but make sure you go, go get yourself, vaccinated and stuff. Again, it's your choice if you choose to go get vaccinated. Not, everybody should respect everyone's choice. But I just want to give y'all an update, and I will catch you guys in the next one.